What up, everyone? What's up? We've got a nice flounder steak already seasoned up. I'll have that go. And yeah. Well, first we need to get the stove ready. And after that, we'll do some grilling. That cleaned easy enough. Wait. All right. All right. Right. I need to wipe the stove down, then we can start cooking. Yes, it is a fish I've caught not long ago. And we're cooking up, and then we'll go to the tackle room, sort through some gear, make some leaders, all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. We'll see, everybody. Let me know if the sorry, folks, it was muted. That was not intentional. Hope you can forgive me. What's up? Let's see how long it takes till some of our regulars show up. And let me get some veggies. I've been slacking on eating my veggies. And I'm a little bit tired, so we don't have coffee right now, so that's a little bit of this energy drink. Just a little. I try to keep my caffeine intake moderate. We could make some coffee, honestly. Yes. I got some maple syrup now, which goes beautifully. Yes, I'm someone who likes their coffee a little bit sweetened. Something. It doesn't have to be sugar. Can be sweetener, but maple syrup just gives a special kind of flavor to it. So that really is good stuff. Just cleaning this part of the stove. Some oil. Big oil. Let that pan heat up slowly. What up, Danny the Stimmer? Manny. Hey man, how are you? And yeah, where's my coffee maker? We will do some fishing stuff, and we might go fishing today, but I don't think so. But maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow we might actually go for a fish. Oh God! I mean, I have fished the Rhine a few times, but I haven't fished the Neckar, which is my actual home river. I mean, I have two home rivers, but it's literally like a 5-minute walk to the Neckar, and I haven't fished it in like 3 years. To be fair, I've caught pretty much everything you can catch there, so I just kind of had enough, or dare I say, got a little bored. But yeah, we're cooking up a conger steak, some nice conger eel I caught in the Western Mediterranean Sea not that long ago. Northwestern Med. It's been seasoned up. I had it brined initially, but I've also added some soy sauce, garlic, and a little bit of some lime juice, and real lime juice, not stuff that's mostly citric acid with a little bit of juice in it. But to be fair, it doesn't really matter. You don't even need some lime juice. It's still gonna be good. And yeah. That pan is ready. Whee! And yet, this is a bone-in conger steak. If anyone wants to know that specifically. I'm not sure why you would, but people are weird, I'm weird, so, you know. Anywho. Let's make it raw. And I still have the juice of that left over. Let's reuse the juice. I don't like wasting stuff. Some soy sauce. Maybe a little ginger. Maybe let's do a bit of a ginger curry sauce. Yeah, let's go into a bit of curry. Not a whole ton, but honestly, this curry is too long, so yeah, we're not really gonna do too much curry. A little pepper. Mmm. Hi there, Hazel Sashi. For a moment I thought you were Glacier Shark. Your name kind of reminds me of Devon, but yeah, a little weight to get a more pronounced crust, and that's some human. It doesn't have such powerful curry punch. Where's my ginger? Oh, then here. And yes, this is a fishing stream. We're gonna do some fishing preparation in a minute, but we're also cooking some fish that we actually caught on the channel. So, oh crap. Okay, okay. The lid of our ginger came off. Actually, maybe we can just scoop this out and still use the sauce. But yeah. Okay, that actually worked somewhat okay. And you really want to avoid high heat because these thicker pieces, they'll never get done otherwise. Got some coffee going, and where's my garlic? Maybe do a tiny bit of sweetener, hint of sweetness, and this is a more Asian style thing. Here's my garlic. This is homemade, homemade dried garlic shit. Did you know that an air fryer doubles as a dehydrator? Well, now you do. I also need to make some fish jerky again. Honestly, I could have just cut up some fresh garlic. But too late now. Let's have a healthy helping of noodles. I am in a muscle gaining phase after all. Ooh, that packs a punch. Yeah. So put our veggies in here after. If it doesn't unstick itself while shaking, it's not done yet. Let's get a rough idea of the internal temp. Probably still half raw. 25 degrees. It's actually closer to upper temp than I thought it would be. Nice one. Nice, nice, nice. We could go up in heat a bit, and maybe we will, but no, this is coming along so beautifully, I don't want to mess with it. Don't want to risk messing it up, because that fish is going to be just, yeah. It's going to be good stuff. Let's actually do something garlic. Right, let's use up some of those little odd bits and pieces. Voila. Actually, it feels right now like my belly is sticking out. I don't think it actually is. And the coffee is still not up to a boil. I didn't really need to get just like an espresso maker. That's good. That's looking good. My mom loves making coffee like this, so she gave me this. I just haven't gotten around to getting to the style I want to prefer. Going in. Let's check our temperature on our. Oh, it's actually stuck again. Well, this should be close to the center. Oh, it's only reading 48 degrees. Okay, we've got a ways to go. We want 60 degrees roughly into our camp. You know you don't have to use a thermometer, but honestly, with these bigger pieces that have to go forever, it's a pain if you don't. So let's not be a pain and make our life simpler, shall we? Making sure the oil reaches everywhere. That's looking good. Looking real good. Actually, let's get stuff out of here. So we can put our veggies in. I'm fueled by this. We could also do a real service, but I'm honestly feeling too tired because I didn't get that much sleep today. And I'm worried I'm going to mess things up if I mingle with a reel and get deep into its internals. You guys might, maybe you guys can relate to that. Especially because it's a more expensive reel. I just don't want to mess things up. But I will deep clean my HXW Raptor 3-speed sometime soon. And yeah. That coffee, it has to boil up 2 more times. And put it on a surface that's not going to get damaged by the heat. Almost ready to come up and down. Our fish, that is. More veggies. The heat of more salt. Put in the chicken stock, like the powdered stuff. That'll be good. Look at that color. Look at that beautiful color. Yeah, baby. And 60 degrees. So whenever it's done on this side, we'll eat it. Put the weight on, let it stick to the surface, and once it unsticks, then it's ready. Let's do a second boil for coffee. I think that process. Oh, it doesn't stick at all. Okay, interesting. How do we get temperature all the way through? Not quite. Not quite there yet. You can probably already throw in. All these veggies can go in first. Then the pasta is already cooked. Doesn't really need to cook. Make sure there's not too much liquid from the veggies. You don't want water touching your fish. No, you don't want the fish to swim. Not in water anyway. Once it's already, cooking. Anyway. That's gonna be beautiful. Why are none of my regulars here? Where are all you guys hiding? Maybe it's the time of day. It's a beautiful sunny day outside, by the way. Speaking of outside, let's open the door. The balcony door, because yeah. Oh, that's some fresh air in. This is going to be good. And the coffee is done. Now I just need to settle, let all the coffee grounds sink to the bottom. Mm-mm-mm. Whenever like most of the moisture from the veggies is cooked off and they start to like stick a little bit, that's when I know it's definitely time to finish this off. Yes, I mean, yeah, it's almost done. And yeah, I'm not doing the real service, at least not now. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. We'll see. I probably should wash all my racks though before I do that. Because I'm gonna need it. Yeah, we'll need a few rags. Okay, I know that fish is gonna be down now, but yeah, let's not overcook it. So out it comes. Take a cup of coffee over with us to the other room. Mm, they're almost starting to get to my consistency. Very, very nice. Or steak, conger steak. There's a pasta. Pasta in. I see with all the spices. Maybe I don't know. I might crack an egg in as well to act like a sauce. That sounds like a smart idea because this is a relatively spicy sauce. You don't want it to overpower too much. Got a rack. Is it all properly heated up? Because we do want the food to cook our eggs, basically. Not that needs to be hotter. It's not hot enough. Maybe it's sexy enough, but it's not hot enough. So we'll add a little bit of water. Keep things from sticking. Easy thing would be to just crank up the heat, but it'll probably just make things worse if I do, so that's not. Let's have a nibble of our fish. Bit too salty though, because it was marinated and then stayed in the fridge for a few days. So basically dry aged, concentrates the flavor, which is nice, but also means here almost. It also means that it's going to be saltier. So I should have eaten it sooner or went lighter in the marinade. Anywho. What up, Lucy? What you looking at? Hey there, Dolly. I gotta get going. Morning, Carrie. Hey, y'all. Let's have a bit of this with some of the fish already. Look at that white flaky meat. In with our egg, off with the heat. on the heat. But we don't want this egg to scramble, not completely at least. It can act as a bit of a sauce. Voila. Here's our conger steak. Doesn't look too shabby, does it? I'm not really someone to sit down a lot to eat, so I'll just take this and some coffee over to the fishing room, and we can start working on some of that stuff. Nice. Oh la la, that's a heavy plate. So let me turn off my heater since I've got the window open. Okay, done. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Alright. We could spool our. We'll also put some line back on our 20K salty. We do need a knife. Of course, I have knives here, but the problem is these knives are used for stuff that's not. Actually, you use for food. And voila! Wow. It really is dry aged fish. Interesting. It's good. All right. So we've got a whole series of boxes. Sort of stuff. They don't have any chemical smell, which is good. Okay, they have little bits of ones that weren't supposed to air. We'll put these off to the side for now. Air out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's have some coffee. Morning, Mike, or Sturgeon, or whatever I should call you. By the way, I did forget to pack the 200-pound hollow core with your order, but if you do come around to making another order, I'll definitely put it in there for you. I was in a hurry and I forgot. That's what it is. No other reason. But yeah, I only remembered after it was already shipped. So, oops, shame on me. Mm-hmm. Anyway, this is what it is. Just so you know. I don't even know where I haven't seen that 200 pounds. I'm almost certain that I didn't pack it in. Not 100%. But yeah, pretty much 100%. Hey Lucy, what's up? Let's put all non-catfish specific trebles in here, like all treble hooks that are for normal fishing, not just monster big game stuff. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. And here, still got our fish here. Mm-mm-mm. Mhm. So. Mhm. I need to get some heavier bait elastic. I'm also having the idea of trying to fish dangles for catfish, but I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I'm not allowed to get anyway. Anything that has any fish baits or anything that even has some beads on it is not allowed to use at the moment. So, but in 2 weeks, it's finally open for. It's finally going to be open for everything. I wish I had some money to get a really nice catfish spinning setup for like using lures for big catfish. That would be amazing. But that's gonna cost. Yeah, it's gonna cost much at the moment. Oh well. Open some more of those boxes. Oh, that's bullshit. Already broken, and it's all smelled chemically. That's no good. And I will just need to air out for a bit. Should have thought of that earlier. I can't really use them. Still like this, but oh well. Mm-hmm. And I already had an idea on how to maximize my chances for catfish and big eels. And right now I'm overthinking another idea I had. Like for one, I'm gonna put one rod with a bit like a bigger ball of night crawlers and or other bait a little bit, which will be my upstream rod, or at least it's the first rod to go out. And a bit downstream of that, I'm gonna put a rod with just like 1, 2, 3 night crawlers for mainly for eels. The thing is, I kind of want to use circle hooks, but I kind of don't. The thing is, if I do circle hooks, it's an all catfish rod all of the time, no debate. But if I use some small, very strong treble hooks and just chuck them full of night crawlers, a really big eel, like one that I've been chasing for a while, will still be able to take the bait. And that would be cool to have my catfish rod double as a eel rod. That also begs the question of leader material, because I was going to use this 1 millimeter 133 strand cable, but it's a bit thick for those small treble hooks. So I might instead go with 7 strand titanium wire, which is a lot thinner. It is stiffer, but it should still be soft enough. Wherever I find my 75 pound and 7 strand titanium, I'll try building a rig out of that. I'm not sure if I should coat it or not. Probably won't for now, maybe in the future. But that could be a sick little rig. So if that eel with like, I don't really care about catching the smaller eels on that setup. They won't be fun to catch anyway, but if any eels with 3 foot and over take my bait, I do want to have the chance of landing them, or actually even hooking them. That'll be the first challenge, and that is why I need to really think through how I'm going to build that rig. Of course, I could use lighter cable too. Would probably work, but it's also going to kink all the time. And I'm not really in the mood for that. And I'm also going to, in the future, I'm definitely going to get some kind of shrink tube. But it'll have to be clear shrink tube, because on the titanium, while it does last basically forever, at some point it will kink. And I need to be able to see, or break, not kink, but individual strands will break. I need to be able to see that. It's going to be crucial for me to be able to see that. So for that reason, I need to use clear shrink tube, and I can coat the cable and really be ready. All the stuff you just think about stuff. you know, you figure out. By the way, I've never seen anyone use titanium leader in the ways I use it, but it just works really nice. Really nicely. So this is going to be an expensive leader, but I don't really expect much for texture. This is our titanium. Woo-hoo! Nice. It is only 2 meters, so we will have to. Yeah. This is literally, it just costs like 10 or 20 bucks, so it's a lot. You can't just use a whole fathom of leader. You really have to figure out. But yeah, that's the right size material. Why is there a broken strand on here? That's no good. There's multiple broken strands. What the hell happened to this leader? Okay, I'll kink it so I don't miss the point with broken strand. Oh, it doesn't really want to kink. Okay, now it's a little kinked. Maybe being caught up on that spool for too long wasn't the best for it. I don't know. The rest of it still seems fine though. Here, that's where another strand broke. Okay, that's unfortunate. Okay. For some short leaders or stingers, I can still use them as like a tippet. We only have enough to make like 2 of those leaders I was talking about earlier. Maybe only 1, honestly. We'll have to figure that one out. Nope. There's another break. Seriously, what happened to this leader? It's a good thing. That is why you want 7-strand titanium, by the way. Those random breaks, well, they're not good. This leader is still gonna hold a fish, even with 1 break, with 1 or 2 strands broken. But if you get single-strand titanium, it can just break randomly with no warning. Which is why I don't use single-strand titanium, even if it's good stuff. Honestly, I could also just build my hook section out of that and then fish great for the rest of the length, because that should be enough. Or heavy mono. If a fish inhales this, it shouldn't happen. I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, Good to know. Did not know or expect that. Oh, and I need to get my charger, folks. Be right back. Phone is at 5% battery, so that's no good. All right. Let's see. Okay. Okay. And yeah, and by the way, why I'm even thinking about using small trebles small enough for an eel to bite or to swallow them, it's because I've got some trebles that even in the smallest size they come in, they still hold 50 pounds. So really, you just want to think which is the minimum. I just want to think what is the minimum size to properly hook a big catfish, and also what size do I need to get on enough night crawlers? Because I want to get like 2 or 3 per shank on there. But that shouldn't be an issue. It's really good. This is good. That is very good use. These, for example, I'm talking about the big K Raptors 3 models. These are size 1. They're already almost too big for an eel. If I'm being completely honest, I'm not sure if they're not already too big. They might be. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna be using something like size 3 or size 4 trebles. That's probably the size I'm gonna be using. Just because I really want to make sure I can get those big eels. And it'll be almost as good for the catfish. Of course, smaller hooks, easier to pull. Then again, it's also going to be a lighter leader. The whole system is going to be a lot less apparent. Otherwise I would use an 8 to 10-0 circle hook. Or 2 8 to 10-0 circle hooks, actually. More travels. More travel hooks. They used to be travels in here, and I might still find them. So you need all the package. So I'm not gonna unpack. I'm not gonna throw that package thing away just yet. And turns off my cable is pretty much gone. Only one tiny piece left. Honestly, we can do really short leaders for eels. That shouldn't be an issue. You don't need a long ass leader. How about this outfit? Why not? 3, 4, 5, 6. That's enough for no knots now. Do not expect to be out of leaders, so it's gonna be interesting. Yep, it wants to turn, just as it should. I'm gonna pimp this hook up with one of these little sleeves. You could leave it like this. You're probably gonna end up pushing it all the way over the shank though. I don't know. We'll crimp the hook in on here as soon as we found the crimp and crimpers. And then we have a bunch of crimps and crimpers. And here's more cable to tie all kinds of leaders from. Yeah, very nice. Because I'm going forward, I'm always going to be fishing cable on my eel rigs, just because it is very rare, but it does happen for a big eel. Hey, Glacier Shark, what's up? It does happen that a big eel works its way through your leader, and even more, if by chance you hook into a large catfish onto an eel hook, on an eel rig, you might be fine, and I've landed quite a few on very light gear, but you might also not be fine and run into trouble. Trying to land, or not run into trouble, just think about it like this. If you've got a big eel struggling on the end of your line, sorry, not a big eel, a big catfish, on a setup that's meant for eels, you're going to be fighting that fish for a while. It's not just pulling him in, grabbing him, like on catfish gear. Don't believe the guys saying they fight a catfish for an hour. That's bullshit. On catfish gear. 5 to 15 minutes. If your fight goes longer than something isn't adding up. It might be real, but then there's some other factors drawing out the fight. No one using appropriate gear is fighting even an 8-foot catfish won't fight longer than 15-20 minutes if you put the heat on. And you don't put a lot of hooks on catfish, so there's not really a reason to go easy. Like, you can put the heat on a catfish pretty damn well. So yeah, 5 to 15 minutes is really what your fight time should look like. And you will get them in. And yeah, these are the size hooks I'm thinking about. Because they're big enough, they're small enough, a really big eel will still get them in. It's a lot for an eel to take, but not impossible. And you couldn't poke like 3 night crawlers on each shank. And that makes 9 on the top one, and you generally want to leave them a bit shorter on the bottom one, so you might not make it to 18, but you don't need to. Like 10 night crawlers, 12 in total, that's probably going to be enough. Anyway, so let's take our titanium leader. Come on. Okay, is there some glue or something that got on this leader material that's causing a bunch of breaks? Okay, we'll just try tying a rig and see as we go if it's gonna work or not. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Little shrink cube. Could do the clear, but actually let's do the clear. Let's not even cover the exit, just the lines. Yep. Where did I put my freaking knife? I know I just had it. I'm an idiot. You all know that. Nothing, no news here. Yeah, that's definitely something on titanium leader you really want to have clear shrink tube, not the black stuff, just because you want to see if there's any damage that occurs. Let's see if we can get. Do we actually need bigger shrink tube? No, it's just the string tube is so soft, it's very thin. It's hard to get it connected. Let's see if the string tube shrinks enough for me or if I need to change it up. Now that looks good. That looks pretty dang good. Let's get some of those little things on top, at least try. No, that's not really gonna work, but honestly, kind of does, kind of doesn't. Story of my life. But yeah. So that'll be the hook. Nice, nice, nice. Shrinky, shrink. Let's stiffen this up with a small piece of clear shrinky dough. Okie dokie. So far, so good. Never tried building this exact rig. I don't think anyone else has either. Mm-hmm. Voila! Nice. Now, how far do we want those travels to be? Looks about right. Does it make any difference in which from which side we go through the travel? I don't think it does. It does, kind of. Okay. Hmm, should be good enough. Shrinky shrink. Oh, I actually want over. Yeah. Need to get that one on first. Okay. Voila! Catfish and eel rig. Like catfish rig with the ability to catch eels in mind. That's what this really is. Just gonna need a U float, and then we're pretty much Gucci. Wee. This is a rig made for night crawlers, just if anyone's wondering. What kind of bait you use on this contraption? Anywho, find the use load, we'll finish it. And this is a use load you could use, but that's way too big. Because these are small hooks, relatively small bait, 10, 15 grams, that's all we're gonna need for our use loads. Okay, 1 second, then go to the bathroom, then we'll keep going on with all of this. Alrighty. Let me get my coffee and then we'll be back at it. We're always, hey Sebi. Hey guys, well, not a fishing trip, just general preparation to do some local fishing. Like I finally got myself a proper fishing cart again, so I can actually get my gear, and I've checked out a couple spots where even with my knee issues, so I'm not really gonna be, I'm not the mountain goat climbing over every rock that I used to be. Let's put it that way. I also found out in my stay on the Mediterranean Sea, climbing on those rocks there, that geez, I've lost a lot of my balance. I'm not. I don't even think I'm half as good as climbing over those slippery rocks as I was in the past. So yeah. There is that. I thought you were a fisherman too, Sally. Well, we've got my favorite kind of fishing is when I get to use these, probably. This is probably my favorite style. Getting to use these leaders for some big eels from shore, all cable. This is 300-pound foot, 133 strand cable with some not giant hooks. These are not giant hooks by any means, but it's just a lot of fun. But I have to drive at least at least 6-7 hours, really closer to 10 hours to get to the grounds where the fishing is good with this style for this style. So yeah, my local rivers, you could use these rigs too, but others perform better for the big stuff. And of course, we do have a proper shark here. So like the biggest stuff that you'll ever need is something like this. Big circle hook, cable onto lighter cable onto heavy mono, and then that all of that gets connected to the rod, obviously. But yeah, this is for like this is actually a rig I have already used before in the South Atlantic in Brazil. I've built and used this rig. Just about an hour away from Sao Paulo. So yeah. But don't worry, Glacier. I definitely been planning to go fishing this week. Maybe tomorrow, maybe on the weekend, also next week and stuff. So you will see a lot more fishing. Don't worry about that. But yeah, I do need to have everything ready, obviously. And let me see, how much of this leader material do we have left? Is it going to be enough for 2 rigs or only one? Only one. So either I'm going to build another one with those hooks, or I'm going to even downsize one size smaller, and I might do that. So size 5 or size 6 of the Raptor C trail hooks. That would be a very nice light rig. Anyway, more crimps. Those go into a crimp box. Basically, the plan is to slowly get everything ready. Like for one, to actually be ready to throw some baits in a couple of days, but also to be ready for some future adventures, let's say. Is this hook still good, or does it need to be? The leader is still good, so might actually just leave that rod and just replace this leader section with one of the rigs I'm building right now. Yeah, once I find the right size hook I'm looking for, we'll do that. Okay. The thing is, I also need to get some gear out of the way that I'm not able to use at the moment. Like anything that's lures, for example, because it's still a bit some time to go before we're allowed to fish with lures and bait fish again. I think it's a silly rule, or well, maybe not a silly rule, but you could negate it. You could just put a little bit of thought into it. Like, there are baits and lures that are very specific to catfishing. Like, once in a blue moon, anything else will hit it, but basically never. So, and catfish are open all year round. So you could just allow the specific stuff that you're only going to catch catfish on to allow that kind of fishing. But anyway, I don't make the rules. If I did, they would be different. Yeah. Hey, Sebi. Yeah, I don't know which life is better, but yeah. Hey, at least I'm doing stuff, because for so long I was just procrastinating. My mental health isn't the best, but oh well. It doesn't get better from doing nothing, usually. Here's another leader for Conger. Oh, I already want to go to the sea again. Yeah, if I get a car, one of the first trips I'll do will be back to the northwestern Mediterranean. There's also a cat there, a stray at a place I know. Who kind of fell in love with my cat, and I'd really like to get him because you could tell no one's taking care of that cat. So. And he did come close, just not close enough to picking up. Well, I could have picked him up at one point, but yeah. That was before I decided to take him with me, so I ended up not being able to get him. But I am 100% set on, like, if I get there again, I'll try to pick him up because that cat deserves a proper home. I have space for another cat. I mean, it's not that much different having one or two cats. So, how much harm could one more cat go through? Yes, I know I'll end up with a whole zoo if I keep that mentality up, but oh well. Ah, here's our size 6. Travels. That's the size I was looking for in the air. I mean, they are small. If I can find a size 5, I'll go with the size 5. If not, should still work. Good, still work. Yeah, size 5 would be, I think, the perfect size to catch the eels, the big eels and the catfish. Size 4 will work, it's a bit better for catfish. size 6 will definitely catch the eel, but it's a bit much on the small side for the catfish. Of course, I could also do a size 4 top treble and the size 6 bottom treble. I might do that. Maybe. We'll have to figure that one out. If I can't find the others, I might just do that. Have a smaller treble on the bottom. If an eel picks it up, it'll definitely get that one down. But for the catfish, which are much more likely to inhale the whole package, it has a slightly larger treble on top. Size 2 trebles. No, that's even bigger. I want size 5. Here's some really big treble hooks. Not going to need those anytime soon. New books I picked up. Here's a U-float, although that's already. That's supposed to be a 50-gram U-float. Sheesh. Okay, that's small for 50 gram. But, all right. One of these foot warmers. Keep them away from hooks, or they're gonna get holes because they react with oxygen. So if you get the tiniest of holes in the package, they're no longer gonna work. Anyway, do I have in here? No. Just the washing information. And okay, we have size 5 around at the moment. We'll see. This is a size 6. Yeah, it is a bit small. A bit much small for catfish. So I don't know. Let's get all the big trebles out of here. That box. Beautiful. This is a live or dead bait catfish rig. Not gonna need that anytime soon. Nice trebles. More nice trebles, but here now. For the time being. Alrighty. I'm hoping in here I might come across what I'm looking for. I don't even know if I have them for sure, to be honest. I mean, I know I should have some somewhere, but I mean, a nice cable if I ever make some small casting. shark rigs. This would be good stuff to use. If I was only going to use like an 8/0 hook. Let's see. Yeah, no. Don't have the trebles else. Taking off here. Just fine. I think I might just use a smaller bottom treble. The size 6, even though, yeah, I would prefer size 5. So, yeah, size 5 would be whatever you want, but it's okay. Let's actually get going. Size 6 on the bottom. Size 4 for the top. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wraps. There we go, there we go. Actually, I could have crimped this bottom hook. Now it's not going to crimp properly anyway. Too late for that now. All right. Yep. Oh, the shrinkage is actually too thin. Where are my other shrinky? It's not already shrunken. To secure that, Alright. Mm-hmm. Nice. Great. Would be nice if the liner would actually work. But I mean, anyway, this isn't going anywhere, so we can still finish the rig as is. Yeah. Yeah. About a finger length apart. Okay. Correct. Didn't keep enough tension. This is where 3 hands would really come in handy. Actually, 4 hands would be ideal. Okay, that already worked, but we'll still shrink. Hi there, what's your rigging up, bro? This is I'm not a hundred. I'm not. I wish I had a size in between those two treble hooks, but basically it's a catfish and eel rig. Both these hooks, they're strong enough to horse in any catfish in the world. Like those hooks take more than 50 pounds to straighten out. Each hook, each of these hooks will resist over 50 pounds. Just basically, I'm building a rig, a catfish rig, but with a twist. That twist being that it'll still work just fine for large eels. Because I'm gonna be using night crawlers anyway, so I might I might also hook into some big eels, you know. And I don't want to lose a big eel. Or like fail to hook a big eel because I went with big catfish hooks if I don't have to, you know. And since these BKK E-Raptor set hooks exist, I figured why not, you know. These look small and they are, but we're gonna put like 1 dozen night crawlers on here, and this should work just fine. Now we just need to shrink that shrimp tube. But yeah, by the way, Hurton, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I did forget to pack the 200-pound Cortland hollow core with your order that I was gonna send you. So sorry about that. Was not intentional. And if you ever get another order from me, I'll put it in then. That's beautiful. Okay, I burned this a little bit, or no, not technically not burn. I didn't burn it, but melted a bit. It's not ideal. Okay, still looks okay. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Just needs a U float and ready to go. I'm probably not fishing this weekend. Next weekend we're supposed to go try for big 6 skills and see if they are at the docks. Hopefully we don't get skunked. So then leaders bills will definitely be here before then. So that's kind of perfect. Honestly, can't wait to try them out. Yeah, me neither. So let's see. If I get lucky, it'll spark, a whole. If I get lucky, I'll end up making a bunch of sales off of that. So that'd be awesome. I mean, even if not, I want to know how my leaders perform as well. And yeah, you got 2 leaders that are definitely long enough for anything, and of course the 2 shorter leaders. So we'll see, I guess. Oh yeah, I need to shop some U floats whenever I get a chance. Can we get these folks on? That is the question. Probably. We'll see. Okay, where did I just put my freaking rig? Now that I'm ready to see it. Here. Okay. So far, so good. There's a bit of a loose fit on here. Honestly, that it should be fine. Rig ready to go. Just need to crimp this to a swivel, and yeah, we're good. This will easily float a nice size bait. Honestly, you could probably go smaller because these hooks are just so small they weigh nothing. That looks great. That'll definitely hold up. I know I can at least get my buddy Mitch to order some from you here probably pretty soon because we're definitely going to blow through a tackle this summer. I'm just waiting buddy Connor to let me know if next weekend he wants to target 6 or 7s. I'm down for either, honestly. So you have different spots, or and also did you say the 7 gills only come in like in June, or are they in earlier this year, or what was with that? Because I remember you saying there's only like a very specific time and place you can get this. You can get the 7 gills close to shore. Yeah, about that. Is that enough to move my stop? It is, unfortunately. In that case, let's take some of this polyester yarn and see if we can tie a stopper knot onto this leader stop. Just so we can have it actually hold up, but still not have anything on here that'll compress. And yeah, like the simpler leaders will probably be like 12, $15, depending on the components, and the more expensive ones will be 20 to 30. It just depends which kind and what they're made out of. So it like the which if it's cable or mono or anything, that won't really make much of a difference. Burton, just because heavy mono is expensive too. So yeah, not necessarily more expensive than cable. Maybe more expensive in some cases. So just so you have an idea. But of course, what hooks I use, that makes a difference because so hooks cost by themselves between $250 and 50 and $20. In dollars, it's going to be 20 between $2.50 and $20 for a single hook. So that's going to be the biggest variance in price of the leaders. If you're not breaking off, then the expensive hooks are worth it. If you are breaking off, then of course not so much. But yeah. This rig, by the way, it's 50-pound cable, which is definitely on the light end for what I'm going to be doing with it. And I will in the future use a bit heavier stuff, but right now of everything I've got in stock door, this was the one that made the most sense. Okay. Honestly. Yeah. And of course your buddies can try the shark rigs out. Hi Willow. Game? What does game mean? Are you still there? Okay, that's the YouTube translator doing bullshit, I think. 7 gills seem to be really only hang out Shelton, Washington, the 6 gills towards found a 200-pound mono spool, I think 3,000 yards online for like 250. Think I'll look it up real quick again. Okay. Hi. Hi, Willow. Wait, do you mean how? Did you ask how I am? Because I think it translated that to game before. I'm all right. Are you still here? Why does it not show me my live chat half the time? That's annoying. Hey, are you still here? No. I'm sorry. What's that? Hmm? Hi there. One sec. Okay. So, well, hi there. By the way, I'm more likely to read comments on my long form chat. Comments on my long form channel. On locked up direct fishing, not locked up direct shorts. It just shows up better. It's a YouTube thing. But yeah. Hi. Hi there, everyone. So yeah, I'll do my best to be better at reading chat. No promises, but I will try. I will try. I got any more of those. This would be perfect. one sec. I'll be right back. Since it's a freshwater here, I can use some stuff that I don't buy any more swivels that aren't well suited for saltwater. It's because I do a lot of saltwater stuff, and I also have a lot of times my tackle gets carried and used in saltwater. So anyway, sturgeon, are you still there? And yeah, sorry Willow, I didn't we didn't chat. Oh, I hooked myself. Luckily, I've gotten pretty freaking good at not actually getting pierced by the hooks, just or getting pierced in a way that it will fall out right away after. Go to the big swivels. Those exact swivels. One size smaller would be perfect. Or it will be a perfect use for them. I have even better swivels. That's not the point. The point is, I don't really have many other uses for those swivels that I want to use for this. So it would be nice to just, use up some old stuff. Okay, here we have them with twist lock snap. If I don't have that, that's fine too. Because I wouldn't buy them. I haven't gotten around to buying the one I would use. A bit of a weird in between thing. Alright. Nope. Okay. What up? It's still a good use. Even though it's unnecessary big for one of those 105 kilograms. So I'll just be using those. Yeah. Soft beads. Nope. I'm an idiot. I really am a freaking moron. And we've got no one watching anymore. Great. Still all my stuff from stock. Unchanged. Yeah, okay. We're just gonna forget. As soon as we have a crimp of the right size, we're just gonna crimp this up so we don't procrastinate forever. This is not about perfection right now. At least it shouldn't be about making it work. Yep, got my crimp. Hey Sturgeon, and hi whoever that is. I can't find that spool of mono online now. Have my life. Save my life. Okay, all good, man, all good. I don't really use mono anyway. Like, I only get mono for like card readers, other readers. So I only need smaller spools of quality mono, not just random spools. If that makes any sense. Yeah. Anyway. Yep, that'll hold. That'll hold. I want actually a longer piece of mono on here. So I'm going to get the mono. And we'll go with the 0.98 millimeter mono. This one. Right size mono. Right. Right. Forgot something. We need some crimpers that are not allowed to use for some other rigging. Okay, dokie. Now, let's see. Anyway. Okay. Let's see. Tom. Let's go. Alrighty. So how long do I want this leader effectively to be? Maybe like this. Yeah. It still needs to stay castable too, so I don't want to go totally overboard. Yeah, that's well, I don't think you should go longer just for casting. Otherwise, he might. Anyway, who's there? Drop a comment and a like if you really want to be nice. Now, look like a cork on this rig. Or a little float, both works. I think more works. And it's a bit away from the main fishing part, so it is actually a synthetic cork. These are quite a bit tougher, but also more durable. Let's see if we can make it work with this one. We need a needle and probably some pliers. That's honestly a damn near perfect hole. Yep. Alrighty. Alrighty. him. Hey Sturgeon, I gotta dig out, bro. Got my morning meeting and gotta go up. Well, see ya, bro. See ya, man. All good. But yeah, our first drop will be ready. Let's. Okay, the sun is already getting low. What time is it? It might be time to end the live in a bit anyway. Okay, we can go for a bit longer. But yeah. Let's see. That'll be a nice rig. That will catch some big eels and catfish. Could catch an absolute stonker, how Burko would say. Voila! Mm. Anyway. Hi. Hey there. What's up? Well, we've got one rod ready to go. We actually already have another rod ready to go. Let's put a little. Let's put a. Why can't I speak? Uh, let's put a swivel on this rig right here. Anyway. Well, hello there. Thank you for being here. Even though it doesn't look like much, or maybe it looks like too much. Either way. Thank you for being here. Oh, it's time to turn the light on. Wow, I mean, it's not sunset yet, but okay, and that's because I'm in between some buildings, and yeah. Anyway. Hmm. Okay. I think I need to find my crimping pliers before I try to crimp this. Why am I such an idiot and make my own life so much harder than it needs to Let's just leave it at that. Alrighty. But I think I'm about to need a break. Honestly. Hey, Sturgeon, what up? I got 5 more minutes. Wow. Well, there's nothing exciting going on, so you don't have to be here, man. But I appreciate it. Not building shark leaders or anything, so, alrighty. Got 5 more minutes. I guess we're gonna be going for 7 guilds again next weekend. Okay, 7 guilds. Nice. I did miss that one before. Hi there. What's up? What up? What? Just a yogi in 30 minutes. Voila! Nice one. Yeah. Yeah, big kids. Oh boy, I'm getting. Okay, let me see. Mm-mm-mm. Lift it back here. Honestly, let's just leave that for now. Once we break this one off, we can redo it. And yeah. Hi there. Yeah, I definitely know I'll have to ask some people how to make these translation either translator stuff stop because I want to see the true unfiltered turd chat. I don't want to see. I don't want to see what people are actually writing, not what YouTube thinks they're trying to say. Because it's kind of pissing me off. Hi. Anyway, let's get this rig here figured out. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, baby. The extra long anti-tangle sleeves. Yes, sir. Do you need the extra long? Or would a long? Actually, we don't. We don't. This is overkill, honestly. Let's see if we can find the long ones that aren't extra long. I had them in my hands before, so. Actually, I know I put them in here. I don't know why they're not in here anymore. Probably because I'm an idiot. Okay, let's see. Are these going to be long enough? Yeah, they're going to be the perfect thing. Or is it? Yeah, they are. They are. Let's take the mono to use as an assist. Anyway, alrighty. Perfect little ending of our fancy little rig. Question is, do you want a small swivel one here or a big one? one of those tiny ones. Why not? Why the hell not? Yeah, that's perfect. Although now I'm thinking that the long anti-tangle boom might actually be better. I think I'll go with the long one. Thinking about it in hindsight. Because that will actually give an anti-tangle effect to the whole rig to make it a bit of a helicopter rig. That's nice. That's the very tip of this sleeve off just to give it some stability. Otherwise it's going to rip, and if it rips at one end, it's actually going to be easier for it to rip the whole way through. Plus this way it's not going to be possible for the stool to slide onto it. Where it might get stuck. And I'm using my shirt because it gives me a bit extra grip. On this slippery silicone. Mm-hmm. Nice. No beads necessary. Beautiful little rig. Beautiful rig. Could have cut this even a bit wider. Yeah, beautiful. This is how it's gonna cast. Whee! Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Hello, Lila. Why are you next door? Where are you? And what are you doing? My cat is up to no good. But anyway. Yeah, that is perfect. That is a perfect little rig I've engineered. I just need a bag to store it in. Because I want to store it in a lot, in a bit larger format, because of the memory effect. So maybe I can have one of those larger. Yeah, not the one I thought, but this one is perfect. Thing is, am I gonna twist this up? No. Why would I? This should work. It's pretty much exactly the same. It's gonna be easier to actually use it on the water if I don't. Oh, this bag is damaged. Okay. It won't matter in this case. Good to know. And hi. Yeah, I'll end the live soon. My energy is dropping and my focus and everything. Okay. Was there one other rig that needed to be taken care of? If not, I might just decide that right now maybe we should stop right now while we're still ahead. Yeah. I think I'm gonna end it here unless my one viewer has something to say. Doesn't look like it. Or yeah. Any questions? Because I'm probably gonna end the live now. We can pack this rod up. We're actually ready to fish. Anyone got anything to say or to ask or anything? I want to give you the opportunity to do so before I end it. Hmm? Nothing? No one? Okay, then I guess it's time to end the live. What's this one all about? Okay, there's one part of my line here that is intrigued a little bit because it looks like it's damaged. I can't recall this line even touching rocks. So it would be weird if it is. Okay, it does actually act a lot rounder than the corner does. This is also a new line I'm testing, but so far it's got me to where I want to go back to the line I was using before. Okay, the frayed piece of line should already be somewhere here. Yeah, that's a nasty fray. It is still a fray, but gosh dang it. When did it happen? Anywho, let's cut it out. I've seen my 200-pound Cortland not even really get frayed by being stuck on rocks. And even this section here, this is Cortland, 100 pound. It does have some micro frays, but really they're micro. That's micro stuff. Yeah. All of that is micro stuff. It might be partial, but I think tight line is gonna go out of my arsenal because it just frays way too easy. Okay. Hey Terry, what up? I am. I've actually built some new kind of leaders. So yeah. And this is a rig. here's where I'm really seeing. I think if you fish around structure, you really don't want to get tight line braid. It's just I'll keep testing this in on this one spool, but I think I'm not even gonna bother spooling up my HXW with the tight line because I don't really trust it, to be honest. I've seen I've just seen it get sprayed so much easier than cotton. It's wild. And on this rig, actually, I'm fishing mm, mm, um, 100-pound Portland and 100-pound tight line next to each other. And the tight and the section that's closer to the bottom, closer to the end, where it should get snagged, is Cortland. And the Cortland has a micro phrase, nothing to worry about at all. But the tight line was like badly damaged. Of course, that could be a fluke. But I'll keep fishing these two. Also, the Cortland splice is way better. If this trend keeps going, I know I've got to stop it with the tight line. And already what I've seen makes me not want to put tight line on my HXW. Plus, Hurting for Sturgeon has already said that he'd probably buy the tight line, the brand new tight line I've got off of me. So probably I'll do that and just fish Cortland. Because, gosh, the difference, it's staggering. Even on the splice, you can already feel it. Yes, it's a premium price, but there's a reason for that. I would still fish tight line, but not if it's going to touch structure. Let me see, Carrie, let me hold it in the camera so you can see the difference, because that's kind of wild. Let me find the nastiest spot of the Cortland. Both 100-pound line. I know the Cortland is stronger and a little bit thicker, but it's in terms of thickness, it's not much. Where's the worst damage on this Cortland? Now I can't even find it. That's how barely. And I know why. I know why the Cortland gets cut less. At least one part, or why the tight line gets cut more. Okay, this is probably the worst. This is the worst of the Cortland. And this is a tight line. Come on, where was the bad spot? It was right before I cut it. Here, Terry, look at the difference. Actually, if I don't have my hand in there. You can't even really see anything on the Cortland. It has a couple spots where like there's individual fibers damaged. Nothing serious. Well, this tight line, you can see. It's like all sorts of messed up. That line has clearly been through the ringer. And I don't think it had any more contact tag to bottom. I could be wrong, but I don't think it did. So I'll keep fishing it, but right now my money is on the Cortland being way, way, way better at handling structure. Just it doesn't catch, if that makes sense. Because it holds Oh crap, there's another bad spot in the tight line. Come the, and here we have an entire strand cut. This is, yeah, entire strand cut. This is my issue with tight line. Because it doesn't hold its integrity like Cortland does. With other words, it opens up rather easily. And I don't mean opening up to splice, but the individual strands separating. And the problem is, if the individual strands and even the fibers within the strand separate, they can get pulled out and catch on any kind of structure. This does not really happen, at least with not half as bad on Cortland. Like, I'm always shocked how little damage I've had Cortland stuck on barnacles and had to use like real force to get it loose. Its line was good as new. Had no real damage, which perplexed me. I'm not saying the tight line is bad line because it's not. It's just Cortland is just on another level. Better than JB, better than anything I've ever fished. I'm talking about the hollow core only, by the way, the C16 hollow core, not the master braid. The master braid I'm not a fan of either. I'd probably choose it over tight line, though honestly that's a toss. The only thing I wish Cortland was doing is having the same braiding style for both the 60 and the 80 pound, because the 60 pound is a super loose braid, which makes it kind of a pain and not the best for splicing, or let's say for holding splices. While the 80 is super tightly woven, which gives it great structural integrity, but it's so tight that it actually loses strength. Meaning the 80 pound isn't really stronger than the 60 pound, just because of how tightly it's woven. To be fair, both lines break around 100 pounds, so they're both a lot stronger than advertised. But yeah, what you could do is you fish the 60 pound as backing. It's great for that, and the 80 for your top shot, for your first 100 yards or so. And both lines are actually about the same in strength. Just I would want to have a tighter woven 60 pound, really, is what I would really want. And also a slightly looser woven 80, just because it would be stronger. And I would want to be able to use, because the 80 pounds, there's no point in using the 80 pound as main line, in my humble opinion. Of course, it'll work, but yeah. Anyway, we'll redo the splice again because the stupid tight line keeps getting cut. But yeah. And then we'll answer live. But I guess it's gonna be time to invest in some more title, in some more content. So what I have to say, the Titan cast, great, maybe a little bit better than the Cortland. And it's cheaper and the colors are amazing. And it holds its color, unlike any other braid. But that's all nice and well, but not really worth anything if the line gets cut super easy, you know? Because if all those small little details that aren't going to make or break the line are there, but the stuff that is going to make or break the line isn't there, then, well, it still breaks the line. Yeah, even here it flies. It's so much rougher texture, tight line. Anyway, yeah, okay. Splice done. Splice done. Also, with how much easier the tight line gets cut, you have to replace it more often, so it also loses in that department. But anyway, enough of that. Here's all of our old tight line that got tangled up. Yeah. Braid we've just removed. It's not good braid anymore. Anywho. Good guys. Okie dokie. Here's our rig. Oh, here's actually our entire rig. But this is gonna be a really, real nice one. Anyway, thanks for watching, y'all. See y'all soon. Peace out, bitches. Bye bye.